decided that we design the solution that suits us. And that solution is that everything we do, since they make our country and our land very uncomfortable for us, we will bring our freedom from diaspora. And that's what we're doing today. So the enabling environment that was not created for us in Biafra land, the different countries where we reside have created an environment, and we are struggling to bring this kind of system back to our people for them to live like human beings. So we will always outsmart the terrorist state of Nigeria.
Only one, under his leadership, His Excellency Simon Ekpa. Anybody that is confusing anyone or telling you there is another, no, there is nothing. There's just one, recognized by His Excellency Simon Ekpa. And we can pray. Once he has that communication, Biafrans, we understand that Obato Obie does not take no crap from nobody. No matter who you are, you must respect that authority. That authority is the only thing that can protect all of us. But we thank God, somebody said this is a transition period. If these things does not happen, Biafrans will not know who is following our prime minister, who wants him to fail, who wants him to be out. So this moment is ordained to happen so that Biafrans will know who is who.
Welcome, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom across the world. I welcome you to this amazing program. Thank you so much for joining us once again on this platform. I appreciate you wherever you are connecting from. Please like and share this program. And remember, this platform where you are watching this program is Biafra Exodus Hard Talk TV, a platform that stands with the United States of Biafra, under the command of our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa, and on the Supreme Command of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Today, under the control of Deputy Prime Minister COS Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, we bring information from the right source, the United States of Biafra, the government of our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa. Wherever you are watching this program from, I urge you in the name of Chukwu Okike Abiama to like and share. Information is power. Remember, our Prime Minister encouraged us to engage in radical evangelism. Our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told us to carry everybody along. In doing that, you must help us to share this video. Like and share to family and friends and to every platform where you belong. This information is important.
Heavy allegations have been levied against Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, regarding his involvement in various violent activities and killings in Nigeria. According to the federal government, Kanu's broadcast incited IPOB members to commit violent attacks against security personnel, civilians, and democratic institutions. Some of the key allegations against Nnamdi Kanu are: murder of security personnel. Kanu's broadcast allegedly led to the killing of 175 security personnel, including 128 police officers, 37 military personnel, and 10 other security operatives. There is also the part of destruction of public and private properties. The IPOB members, acting on Kanu's directives, destroy police stations, public transport buses, and other facilities across the country. And also there is a part of attacks on INEC facilities. It's been reported that there were 19 attacks on Independent National Electoral Commission INEC facilities, resulting in the destruction of offices and burning of 18 INEC logistical vehicles. Killing also happened of four of prominent Nigerians. He also has been accused of being responsible for the murder of the former presidential aide Ahmed Gulak, and over 177 others in the Southeast region, because it was said that his broadcast actually incited a lot of dangers. And there is also the part of instigating violence, where the government alleges that Kanu's broadcast instigated violence and incited members of IPOB to commit violent attacks against civil and democratic institutions. So there is a part of reactions and trial, because, I mean, for every allegation, there has to be reaction and trial. And it's been said that a prosecution witness testified in court that Kanu's broadcast led to Gulag's killing and other violent incidents. Gulag Ahmed is the former aide to the president, former ex-aide to former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that's the president of President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, and the federal government has designated IPOB as a terrorist organization and accused Kanu of having accomplices in Nigeria and abroad who aid his subversive activities. Currently, Kanu's trial is ongoing, with the government presenting evidence of his alleged involvement in violent activities. So to talk about this, I still have to lend his voice on the situation at hand. Comrade Collins Osegei Amadin. Comrade, are you there?
Osaga.
Osaga. All right, sorry about that. So it's a very, very disturbing situation right now because a lot of people have called for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, and we see this turn of events where evidences are being rolled out in court. What evidence has been presented to support the claims that Nnamdi's broadcast directly incited violence and led to specific attacks? Do you think that the evidence is shown so far are strong proof that he actually led to specific attacks and it can be judged based on these evidences? Sorry. Please unmute your mic. I can't hear you. Okay, we can hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, please.
Yes, I said the issue of Nnamdi Kanu, I think I've been privileged to talk about this over and over in some fora. I think if we want to go back to what Nnamdi Kanu did, the broadcast he made, what Ekpo did, the broadcast he made, we may continue to thrive on sentiments. Because in some cases, there were also some other persons from other regions that even did similar or worse. But however, I think Nnamdi Kanu need to calm his nerves, calm down, so that there can be a political solution. There can be, if we want to call it a way of amnesty, because it doesn't matter what Nnamdi Kanu believes, his beliefs have taken a lot of lives. He wanted to fight for the independence of the Igbo people. So many things have gone wrong. His own people have been molested. His own people have been dealt with. You have declared holiday, nobody goes anywhere. The economy of the country or of the states of that region has completely been crumbled. But we don't really want to start dwelling on that. For me, I have appealed and I'm appealing again. Let them see how they can make a political solution to this, so he can go back to his people, even if they have reasons to say they want to see that from Nigeria.
Right.
It should be done. It should be done in a very standard manner.
Okay.
There are procedures and principles to follow, not to start inciting the people against the government or against themselves. Because what we have seen over the time, the people have been incited against themselves. That somebody is doing a burial ceremony, people go there and start killing people and say you have not paid homages. Is that the way you fight for freedom? Is that the way you do things? That is barbaric in nature. That has been a self-humiliation. And the funny thing, they'll be killing themselves. You are killing your own brother, the same brother you want to fight for his freedom. That's not how it should be done. So I just want to appeal to this government. Let them see how they can put this thing to rest, and let us have a new beginning with Nnamdi Kanu and his followers, so that probably things will change this time. And let government also on his own side see to some of those things that may have led to the agitation. They said no development in the eastern region. There is equity. There's no quality delivering of promises made to them. Let us look into all of this. If there are nepotism that they felt is affecting them, let us look into all this. After all, South are also victim of all of this. We in the South have also suffered so bitterly. Just sadly that, I don't want to say sadly, we have chosen to taking our own in a very matured manner, that we are not taking souls all in the name of wanting to see. Because if you want to really go about it, there is no region today in Nigeria that will tell you that they are satisfied with the way things are going. or the way things have always gone. It didn't just start today. Even before 1999, there have always been this cry for succession. There have always been this cry for inequality. There have always been this cry that some region are oppressing some region. So I think we must look into all this with a genuine feelings. Let our leaders not use our own people in a way of agitation and making money through them. And at the end of the day, no result is forthcoming. And we still be where we are. I can bet you, since Ojukwu started this struggle and Nnamdi Kanu inherited it, the eastern part of the region, in the name of the agitation, are still where they are. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. So let there be a political solution so that he can also go back to his family and let us have a new rethink.
Thank you so much for staying with us. I want you to respond to the position of the federal government in all of this. How does the federal government respond to the allegations of human rights abuses and excessive force by security personnel in the Southeast, particularly in the context of the IPOB crisis? Side by side, I also want you to respond to the concerns about designation of IPOB as a terrorist organization and its impact on the Igbo community. How do you think this designation affects the community, and is there a risk of any further marginalization, because this has been at the center of this agitation?
I think it was the federal government under former President Muhammadu Buhari that declared IPOB terrorist and as a terrorist organization. And I think at the time they did it, no one was really, no one really could argue the fact that the actions that were going on as at that time really called for worry. There were a lot of human slaughtering. There were a lot of destruction. There were the houses being destroyed. In short, it was on the high side, especially in Imo State and in Enugu State, and some other, about another one state like that. It was very high at that level. So, any association or group of persons that engages in taking lives on what they believe become a terrorist association or a terrorist group. So, as at that point, I really didn't blame the federal government for declaring them so, because you cannot be killing your own brother, killing your own sister because you feel they were not in tendence with your own feelings or what you want. You don't coerce people, to follow your own way. Your own way may be correct, doesn't mean it's correct to another person. So all of that we were saying. So that on one hand. And two, there were other issues that really we couldn't just wake up and forget just like that, because there were a lot of injustice at the same time too that were being meted on the ordinary people that were living in those areas, as they were meant to pay some taxes to the organization in order for them to fund themselves. And you could see, even when statements come from their leaders, that if you go out, you will be slaughtered, you will be murdered, especially the one from Epo. It will just say it so authoritatively, and in the evening of it, you will see man slaughters and all of that. So I just felt it wasn't the best way. And the effects on the eastern part of the region was that investors became scared. Investors didn't want to come. Investors didn't want to go to that area to join them.
Okay.
The Igbos brothers are the most expatriates in this country. They were the ones who helped us to produce so much.
All right,
and they needed
comrade,
some support from the foreign expatriates too.
Yeah, because of time, I would like you to respond to other questions because of time, because we need to go quickly. There's the part of social media, because a lot of people believe that social media and other online platforms play a very negative role in dissemination of Nnamdi Kanu's message. And what do you think about this platform? How do you think they can be regulated to prevent such in future? And also, there are people that have argued that some of the root causes of the unrest in the Southeast, such as economic marginalization and lack of infrastructure, needed to be addressed. And some people agree with the government arresting him at the time. Do you think that the government's approach adequately addressed that situation and, of course, solve some of the underlying issues? And do you think that this strategy is working and there's been a lot of progress made so far in the region? In 1 minute, please.
Yeah, but I think the federal government have tried to do their best because they didn't want to see like it was government against the Easterners. So even when you see some level of violence, they have been very guided. Otherwise, because many of our security personnel have been killed, over in the eastern part of this country, owing to all of this name of secession, and it
Okay.
has also completely killed the economy of this country too, where the federal government also gets its own share too.
Okay. Thank you very much for that response. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and, of course, insights on this conversation. We hope that we'll call you next time and you'll be able to talk to us on the latest developments.
Thank you so much.
All right. Have a wonderful weekend. So, yeah, as we conclude today's edition of The People's Voice, let's take a recap on the key discussions. We've explored allegations against Nnamdi Kanu and the implications of his broadcast on violence in the Southeast. We also analyzed the significance of defection in Edo State and a lot of defection from the People's Democratic Party to APC and what this means for the state's political landscape. And finally, it is important to touch on a positive note highlighting the Federal Capital Territory Chief Judge's efforts to decongest correctional facilities by freeing 30 inmates awaiting trial in Kefi prison. That's the much we can take on People's Voice today. My name is Adefunke Jaisemi, and I strongly believe in this project, Nigeria.